Hello peeps, welcome back to Big Deck Playa with me, Matt Sparks. This week we're taking a look at a priest deck. This was posted on Hearthstone by HS Crusher. I've spotlighted one of his decks before, I believe it was Shaman deck, and that was very good. So I thought, why not give his priest deck a shot as well. Okay, so here's the deck. It's called Crusher Combo Priest. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's a bit unique. It's not something I've seen very much of on ladder. And I've certainly not played anything quite like this before myself. So I thought I would show you and see what you thought. So to start off, we've got 2 Circle of Healing. Restores 4 health to all minions. This is in the deck mainly for board clear later on in the game when you combo it with the 4 mana Organized Soul Priest, jumping quite a few cards to get down to this one, which transfers healing into damage instead. So that's like a 4 damage board clear when it's combined with the Organized Soul Priest. Obviously you can use it for healing as well. So if you've got things that need healing on the board, then that's a possibility. And obviously if you have got things that need healing on the board, if you've got your Northshire Cleric out at the same time, you'll get card draw. We have 2 Silence. 0 cost silence is pretty nice. You don't have any minions that can silence, so but having a silence, these are mainly used for getting rid of taunts that get in your way. Obviously anything big and nasty that's been buffed up, like Frothing Berserkers or whatever, you can use these to silence them, but these are mainly used for silencing taunts. We have 2 Inner Fire. It's been a while since I've played decks with priest decks with Inner Fire, and we've also got the Divine Spirit as well. I haven't played these sorts of decks pretty much since beta. I think just after the beta, and Divine Spirit, Inner Fire priests were all the rage. So obviously Inner Fire change a minion's attack to be equal to its health, and then the Divine Spirit, which is the double a minion's health. So doubling a minion's health and then using Inner Fire will mean that it gets more attack, which is pretty good. And there's some nice cards in this deck, nice minions in this deck that we can use to combo that with to make it most effective. We have 2 Power Word Shield, which gives a minion 2 health and draw a card. Now if you are going to use Divine Spirit in a Fire combo, you kind of want to make sure that if you're going to put a Power Word Shield on it, you put this on it first. Because obviously if something has 5 health, if you double it and then put this on, you're only going to get 12 health. Whereas if you put this on first and then double it, you'll take it up to 14. So put your Power Word Shield on first before you double the health. And you get a little bit of card draw from it. So that's nice. Northshire Clerics, as I mentioned before, obviously very useful in a priest deck. We have 1 Doomsayer. This is a bit of an odd one because I think the only deck I've ever played with a Doomsayer in was a Freeze Mage. I've never seen it in anything else, I don't think. So, yeah, a Doomsayer. A bit weird, but acts as a soft taunt if nothing else. Also at 2 mana we've got 2 Wild Pyromancers. Now this is like a little bit of board clear because you can keep this guy alive, you can put Power Word Shield on it, giving him 4 health, but obviously then triggering his 1 damage AoE, which you can then heal up so that he has 4 health again. We only have 1 Shadow Word Death. We don't have a Big Game Hunter, so this is your get rid of big stuff for cheap card. So use it wisely because you only have the 1. We also only have 1 Velen's Chosen. Again, if you're going to use this to buff something up and that you're going to be then using the Divine Spirit Inner Fire combo on, make sure you play this first before you do that combo, because you'll get more out of it that way. At 3 mana we also have 2 Acolyte of Pain. These are really nice in priest decks because you can heal them up. So they might only, in normal decks they might only get 1 or 2 cards, but because you can heal this up, it could get more, and you can buff it. You can buff the health of it to get even more cards. I mean, if you could put the Velen's Chosen onto an Acolyte of Pain, and then suddenly you've got a 3/7 minion on the board that can draw cards for you and trade very well, and you can keep alive with your heals. Very, very useful indeed. We have 2 Death Lords. Now, this is mainly to try and keep your opponent from dealing damage to you, because there are 2 minions in this deck that you kind of want to use the combo on if you can. But Death Lord is also a very good target for your combo of Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. Obviously, already as he is, he's got 8 health. So even if you just pop an Inner Fire on him on turn 4, or even on turn 3 with the coin, that becomes an 8/8. Now your opponent is going to want to not have that deal damage to them, so they're probably going to do all they can to try and kill it. Most people are reluctant to silence a Death Lord because they want that minion from their deck on the battlefield. They want that death rattle to go off. But that comboed with the fact that they might be getting hit for 8 damage each turn, or even worse if you've managed to buff its health before. I mean, you know, just by putting a power word shield on this and then an Inner Fire, it's going to give it 10 damage, which is ridiculous because that'll be like turn 4. Getting hit for 10 damage on turn 4 could be potentially awesome for you. Not for your opponent, but for you it would be great. The last card at 3 mana is a Gnomeregan Infantry. Now, I don't like this card. Never have done. But it's in the deck, so I'm including it in the spotlight because, you know, it's there. Now, I think the main purpose of this is the fact that it has charge. It doesn't have as much health as the Death Lord does, but it has charge. So you could use your Divine Spirit combo to buff this up and do damage straight off the bat, which is quite nice, but I'm not sure that it's all that great because it's only got 4 health. As I mentioned earlier, we have an Organized Soul Priest for dealing damage with your healing spells, which is only really your hero power and the Circle of Healing. It doesn't really affect much else. A Stormwind Knight. This is also another target for your combo, Divine Spirit, Inner Fire. If you Divine Spirit a Stormwind Knight, that takes him up to 10. Inner Fire takes his attack up to 10. I'm still not 100% sure on these 2 cards, but I guess because they're neutral cards with charge, there's not many neutral cards with charge that have that extra health over attack instead of the other way around. So in that respect, it works pretty well. We have 1 Holy Nova for a little bit of board clear. Not a huge amount of board clear, but it might be enough to keep your opponent at bay. Obviously it does healing as well. Just make sure that when you play this, you don't have your Organized Soul Priest out, otherwise you might end up doing damage to yourself and everything else on your side of the board as well. So that wouldn't be too good at all. We have 1 Harrison Jones. I believe he's one of 3 legendaries in the deck. This is here to kind of slow down any shamans, rogues, warriors, paladins that have weapons, just to get the extra card draw. There's quite a lot of card draw in this deck because you want to get to that combo. You want to make sure you've got that combo in your hand ready to go. We have 2 Light Bombs. Now, a lot of the things that you're playing will have more health than they have attack. So Light Bombs in that respect is actually very useful, because it means that your opponent's stuff will probably die and yours probably won't. And you can heal your stuff back up again afterwards if you need to. But we have 2 of those, so any giants, any handlocks you come up against that, you know, with 8/8 giants, you're going to find it a bit tough to deal with when they all die because of Light Bomb. At 6 mana, we also have Emperor Tharasam, who's the 2nd legendary. So he reduces the cost of all your cards by 1 at the end of each turn. Emperor Tharasam will probably die the turn after you put him out. Most of your cards aren't that expensive anyway, so having him reduce the mana cost just means you can play that a lot earlier, which is pretty nice. And then last but not least, we have Alexstrasza. Just in case your opponent wasn't low enough on health already, you can use Alexstrasza to reduce their health to 15, and then you're probably going to be able to finish them off either with the Death Lord and the combo, or the Stormwind Knight, or the Gnomeregan Infantry, and finish them off that way with the combo. But it's all about getting that combo and finishing off your opponent. So that's the deck. That is everything on the deck. You kind of want to mulligan for stuff like the Circle of Healing, Powered Shield, Northshire Cleric, Acolyte of Pain, Deathlord, Wild Pyromancer. Stuff that's going to help you draw cards, basically. Anything that helps you draw cards at the beginning is going to be good. Deathlord is going to be good just to kind of slow your opponent down, just because it has so much health and you can heal it up. Buff it up and use an Inner Fire on it, then it's going to make that Deathlord even more powerful, so that's pretty nice as well. So there we go, that is the Crusher Combo Priest. Don't forget to check the link in the description, which will take you to the Hearthstone page where you can check this deck out for yourself. Go and give it a plus rating if you've enjoyed playing this deck. Let me know how you get on. If you've made any videos using this deck, feel free to link them to me and I'll be sure to come check them out. If you have any suggestions for future decks for Big Deck Player, again, feel free to link them to me via my Twitter and I shall go and investigate. Please don't forget to check out the Hearthstone podcast that I started as well, if you get time. It is quite long, but then it is a podcast. So links to that will be at the end of the video. And I will see you next week for some more Big Deck Player. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.